You, Ruby? No, I'm just kidding. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. I want to wish everyone a happy new year. Appreciate you being here this evening for our Brawley City Council meeting and successor agency to the Brawley Community Redevelopment Agency regular meeting scheduled here today, January 5th, 2016, 6 p.m. I don't know about you guys, but the 2016 part is going to take a little bit of practice, so we get that down. Can I get the roll call, please?
The minutes will reflect all council members present.
Thank you. And we'll move to our next item, the invocation from Pastor Dowdy of the Brawley Assembly, God of Church. Thank you, Pastor.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, creator of all things, the one true source of life, and the one who is above all others, we humbly come to you this evening in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Confessing that we are in need of you, God, we ask for your mercy not to receive that which we deserve. And we ask for your grace to receive that which we do not deserve. We thank you tonight for your many blessings in our lives and in our city. You are the source of our hope, peace, and purpose. And tonight we honor you, asking you to be glorified in this meeting. We pray for our mayor, for each council member, all Brawley City officials elected and appointed, and we ask that, Lord, you would bless them and bless this meeting in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. And ladies and gentlemen, if I can, as you're standing also, if you don't mind, if we can bow our heads just for a few seconds here, a moment of silence for the recent loss of our city treasurer, Mr. Miguel Miranda, and his family. Bow your heads, please. Thank you. We'll move on to our pledge. And for our pledge, if Councilmember Nava could so oblige.
Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Dowdy. Appreciate that, and thank you, Councilmember Nava.
Thank you.
Moving on to our next item, which is item 2 on our agenda, and that, it's approval of the agenda. So our first item is the approval of the agenda.
Mr. Mayor, I would like, if I could, before we make a motion, I would like to suggest that possibly we could move item 4A back to an annual review, and that would probably occur right before April of 2016, rather than take that fee increase at the present time. Move it back. We said that we would look at it after 6 months, but we've normally traditionally looked at it once a year. And so what I would like to do, if we could, or just suggest, and I don't know whether that takes a motion or not, but move that to April of 2016 before we look at that again.
I believe our last review in 2015, we agreed that we might want to look at it in closer increments of 6 months. But I believe we got delayed with many other topics, obviously, that came up. So we're really at the 8 or 9 month area. So we're awfully close to the April. I have no issue with that, but I'm kind of looking at the rest of council. Do we need a motion for this?
A motion to table it to that time?
To the time of April?
Just to take it off the agenda, either one.
But we do have a motion.
Helen made the motion.
I make the motion with removing 4A to a later date.
I second that.
Okay, then we'll go with the motion. We have the second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Not in favor? Motion carries. Item 4A will be postponed to the normally scheduled April review. And I want to thank a few of the members of the public that did come in this evening on the topic, but we figure we'll save you a little bit of time this evening, so thank you for being here.
Mr. Mayor, they are here. Some of them drove from far out of town. If you would allow them comment?
I hope nobody flew, but yes, I suppose we definitely have that latitude. Is there any? Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Tom?
Okay, we'll move on then. I'll bring us back up to item 2, the public appearances and comments. This is not to exceed 4 minutes and is the time for the public to address the council on any items that are not appearing on the agenda. That within this subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council, the mayor will recognize you when you come to the microphone. Please state your name for the record. You are not allowed to make personal attacks on individuals or make comments which are slanderous or may invade an individual's personal privacy. Just please direct your questions to the actual council, and if anyone here this evening would like to come up.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. I was hoping to talk about the water. No, I'm just kidding. I'm here just to reintroduce myself to the members of the City Council, as you may have met me or meeting me for the first time under my previous role. I'm now here to serve you all with Congressman Juan Vargas' office. So I am the senior field representative for Congressman Juan Vargas, and I am here to just let you know that the office is running open for business, and if there are any issues pertaining to federal agencies, constitutional law or whatnot, if I could be of any help to the city of Brawley, please feel free to reach out. And that goes for you as well as for the residents of the city of Brawley. We're here to help.
Would you please state your name?
Yes,
for the
I'm sorry. My
record?
name is Tomas Oliva, and I'm a native of Imperial County. And so I'm very familiar with the Imperial Valley, and so I am just looking forward to helping our communities.
Excellent. And Mr. Olivas, I also want to, and congratulations on that new position. For any of us council members, we contact you for a potential one-on-one meeting when the congressman is in district?
Absolutely.
Excellent. We will do so.
Congratulations to you,
Thank
and
you,
I know
sir.
you're going to do a good job. You've already been in the mix for many years, and so I think this is a natural transfer. So congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I also congratulate you, Tomas. I know that you're going to do a great job for him. So
And
congratulations.
for you too.
And yes, for all of us.
This is about you
Congratulations.
guys.
Nice to
Thank
see you again.
Thank you,
Likewise.
Tomas.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
it.
Thank you. Also, we're still in our public comments, but if I could, Mr. Zara, I'm just going to, you'll be up next. Just a little bit of an order of things. If I could have Chief Crankshaw come on up. We do have a special presentation that is not listed as a standalone on the agenda, but I think we have some exciting news.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council members. It's with great pleasure I have the opportunity to today that we promoted an individual who has come up through the ranks with the Brawley Police Department. Formerly, Sergeant Kelly Brown is now Police Commander Kelly Brown. A very well-deserved promotion. This is allow us to achieve quite a bit of operational changes and be more effective, more efficient. And so I'm looking forward to working with Commander Brown and Commander Hauser. And so without any further ado, Commander Brown.
Well, first, I'd like to thank the chief for giving me the opportunity. I look forward to working with each of you as well as the command staff of the police department to work on quality of life issues that face our community. I won't make this very long at all. I'm very excited about the new position, and I look forward to the challenges that it's going to present. So thank you.
Congratulations.
Commander, if I could, and the hairstyle wasn't just a woo, council member.
I say you're the most handsome officer out there, you know?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's sincere congratulations, though, for me, and I think for the public, just to kind of maybe reiterate a little bit here for the chief, it's a very competitive process, too, internal. We have some certainly solid candidates that have come up to the ranks, but true congratulations. It was earned, both in experience as well as, I think, how you performed to the process. So I've heard very solid marks in comments from the chief.
Thank you.
Nearly 14 years on the police force, so congratulations. I know you're going to do a great job.
Yes,
Very
thank
nice,
you
very nice.
very much.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Still under public comments. So do we have any other members of the public that would like to come up?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council and staff. Jason Zara, Brawley Chamber of Commerce. First, let me start by saying Happy New Year. And I'm looking forward to working closely with the city once again as we start the new year. I wanted to begin by inviting you all to our first farmers market of the new year, which is going to be this Saturday from 10 to 2. You'll be happy to know we won't be selling any beer at this one. So we decided that with the cold weather, we're just going to
Good for you.
leave
Serve
that
coffee,
off. And
lattes.
we will have plenty of produce and lots of good food and lots of entertainment. The Brawley Union High School Band will be out there. And so we look forward to seeing everyone out there on Saturday. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Zara. Do you have any other public comments? If we do not, we'll move on. Still under public appearance and comments, we do have item 2A. And this is the presentation of proclamation designating January 6th today, 2016, as Anti-Gang Awareness Day. This is a bit of a conflicted topic for me because it always comes with a certain level of sadness and some loss, but at the same time, I'm always encouraged with what this organization, I see it as an individual, but I really know through the work of this individual, it's really become a very influential organization within the county doing some phenomenal work. So if I can have the Garza family, which are present for this, to step on up here, and I'd like an opportunity to read this proclamation on behalf of the city for the MAG Coalition. If you can please come up. Videography. Yes. And if as the Garzas, as many do know you from the community, if you don't mind, if you can introduce yourself for the record for us, please.
No, I'm nervous. It's okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Yulil Alonso Garza. I am the president and founder of Mothers and Men Against Gangs Coalition, and this is my husband.
I'm the vice president, Martin Garza.
And we are the parents of Martin Alberto Garza, whom was murdered 3 years ago tomorrow. And we founded this organization with the purpose of making a difference and making sure that our son's life was not in vain, and with the purpose of making sure that we make a change in our community, because all lives are important, especially the ones that we grow here in Brawley and the Imperial County. And I know that at times, people wonder why we're doing it. And I get asked that many times, and I just want to let everyone know it's because it's what we do to make sure our son's legacy continues and his life is not forgotten. And we save a life.
And Ms. Garza, if I could also, what's the significance of our date, just as a...
3 years ago, on a day like this, January 5th, our kids went out. And unfortunately, our son did not come home on that night. And he passed away as a result of a stabbing in El Centro on North 7th Street. And he died in the early hours of January 6th. And one of the things that I vowed to do is to work with the private sector and the families and our organization to start helping, and mark a day that would be significant for everyone. And I think at the beginning of a year, it's with great purpose that we can start changing. Many of us set New Year's resolutions. We decide on making changes as we start a new year, and I know that, I'm going to share this, but one of his New Year's resolutions was to get a girlfriend. I remember him posting about that, and I thought that was kind of funny. But for us, being able to get through the holidays with him, but then having him pass away on one of the significant holidays in our family. We like to celebrate the wise men and cut the bread and then have a party on February 2nd for the Dia de la Candelaria. He loved that. So I thought it was only meaningful and significant that on his 3-year anniversary, which is one of the numbers that we use from his 73, that we mark it with a commitment as a community and start thinking about the change that we can make. You know, you guys as elected officials that represent us, and as well as the families, and show them that even when a family like ours goes through a tragedy, you can still overcome it and make a change in the community. It doesn't mean that you crawl under your bed, under your blankets, and stay there. You do not die with your son. You continue to live, and you continue to make a difference.
Tremendous. Thank you very much. If I could also, I think this is important, is before I read the proclamation, but give an opportunity for our council members if they have any comment on this day before I read the proclamation.
I'd like to say that it's very difficult, as you say, for families to go through these kind of issues. I believe some of us have gone through it. And not all of us go through doing what you have done, what you and your husband have started, and I think that's just absolutely wonderful. For the students that we have here in the Valley, need to, not only the students, but also the parents need to be aware of, there are things and places and people to go to and to make a difference. And I think that's what you have started, and God bless you for doing that.
Thank you.
I just want to thank you for your strength and your ability to form this and make a statement in the community that's very well supported and respected. Thank you.
Thank you.
I consider you friends, and I'm always very supportive of you. I can't imagine what it feels like to go through what you've gone through. And I know you've put a lot of energy in your nonprofit, and that's been a positive force in your life. So I hope you continue with it, and we're here to support you as well, and me personally as a friend.
Thank you.
It's certainly a worthy cause, and we think the proclamation is certainly very appropriate for this day. And so wish you luck on that, and we hope to forward that and make everybody start to be aware of all the things that can happen out there to your children, and know where they're at and know what's going on all the time. So thank you very much.
Thank you, council
Thank
members.
you.
And I just one more comment from me. This is, as it was mentioned, I do consider myself a friend, a very dear friend, hopefully, darn near family, because this couple here, this family goes back to, basically a period of time where we were raising our kids together. And we'll always share that bond, but I will certainly tell you, I've spent 5 years with some of our county agency and narcotics task force, which is affiliated with a gang unit. I've been a part of the sheriff's department now as a reserve commander for getting closer to 19 years now. And it all began for me because of an injustice, what was darn near a violent attempted murder on a family member of mine. And it caused me and moved me to do the things that I've done. And for me, it never ends, because it's basically something that moves on forever. But it's with a heavy heart, but at the same time, a lot of pride in what you've done that I read this proclamation. So I will move forward and do so, proclaiming that, designating January 6, 2016 as Anti-Gang Awareness Day. Whereas the Mothers and Men Against Gang Coalition, MAG, is an organization formed to provide awareness to combat gang violence throughout Imperial County. And whereas MAG was formed in 2013 by parents of a young man who lost his life to gang violence. And whereas MAG brings together parents, youth, community partners, churches, and educators to eradicate gang activity by spreading the message that there is no room for gangs. And whereas it is essential to continue to work together to stop gang violence, to encourage involvement in anti-gang prevention programs in order to help reduce the number of gang-related deaths. And whereas anti-gang prevention adds immeasurably to the health and safety of our community and should be encouraged and supported. Now, therefore, I, Donald L. Wharton, Mayor of the City of Brawley, urge our citizens to become aware of anti-gang prevention measures to safeguard our community on this day. So there's the proclamation, and if I could, maybe if that council
Go down there.
And perhaps if we take we have a couple executives from our crime fighting department here. Chief, if you wouldn't mind also for a photo, I think it would be appropriate. They're a part of this effort. We're going to put you in the middle. We'll be We're going over.
No, this one next. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I got a lot.
I've got a lot. Yeah, I got a lot. There we go.
Mayor, from our family, we want to thank you. As you said, you've been with us from day one, and you continue to support us, not just as a city council member, but also in the private sector with Reach and as a family man as well. And we want to welcome you to your mayorship and granting you one of our scars with the MAG Coalition patch, because you're a part of our team.
Thank you so much. This patch means a lot. Unfortunately, I don't have a letterman's jacket where very clearly see this as a great representation.
Can we just get one quick picture?
He probably does, it just shrunk.
With you in the scarf.
How do I rock
Want to go
this?
over here?
Just wrap it up. Do it like an aviator. Do it like, do it like
You
an
should wear it like
aviator.
Snoopy.
wear it
There
over
you
your shoulder. Like the old pilots in the
Like Snoopy.
biplanes. Yeah, this is like Snoopy, the aviator. You're an aviator.
2 weeks.
Just throw it over your shoulder like it does with that. So it didn't get caught in the prop.
Thank you.
Thank you very
So
much.
warm in the
Yes,
sweater.
I will.
Congratulations
Thank you.
on the proclamation.
And one last thing, I just want to thank all of you for being part of our family, because you guys are our first family. You know, after we leave home, we know that this is our second home here. And I know that this is just the beginning to something that we will be able to work on. And I just want to say that Chief has already started to work with us, and thank you. We're also on our way to Calexico, so excuse us if we exit so quickly. Calexico is also working with us, and tomorrow we welcome everyone at our candlelight vigil in El Centro. The city of El Centro will be doing the last proclamation along with Senator Benueso's office, and I'm not sure if Mr. Vargas or the other ones will be there, but we welcome you there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and then moving on. Yeah, so these are glasses. I mean, that's what I heard. So, and I do appreciate the larger font
Now
on
that
some
you-
of these
now
now.
that you
But
became mayor, you
exactly. Suddenly, I
That's what
cannot see.
happens.
With that, we will move on to obviously item 3, which is our consent agenda. Items here are approved by one motion. Council members or members of the public may request consent items to be considered separately at a different time as determined by the mayor. Do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
Make a
I
motion to
second.
approve.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Not in favor, motion carries. Moving on to regular business, item 4, and as just referenced earlier in the meeting, we did postpone item 4A, so we're moving to item 4B that's listed on the agenda, and that's an overview of the Joint Powers Insurance Authority, JPIA, programs and services by Alex Malor. who is here this evening, Risk Manager, Regional Risk Manager.
Honorable Mayor, Council Member Shirley Benias, Personnel and Risk Management Administrator, it's my pleasure and an honor to introduce to you Mr. Alex Miller. He is our Regional Manager for the California Joint Powers Insurance Authority. He will give an overview of what the authority is about. And then also in attendance is Mr. Jeff Rush. He is our Workers' Compensation Program Manager. Mr. Miller.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shirley. Mayor and Council, good evening. If I could, before I start my presentation, I'd like to make you aware that I have a little bit of a stutter, just like that. And so at certain times during my presentation tonight, I might get stuck. And what I'd like to ask of you is if you can just wait for me to get the words out. That's a big, big help. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So as Shirley mentioned, my name is Alex Meller. I'm a regional risk manager with the California Joint Powers Insurance Authority. And I'm here tonight to give you a refresher and an overview of who we at the California JPIA are. I know, as most of you are probably aware, there's been a lot of talk in the Valley over the last couple of years regarding us and regarding the different programs and services that we provide, and regarding the ways that we work with our members. So again, I'm here tonight to both kind of give you an overview of the different programs and services that we have available, and also to clarify and explain to you how we work with our members. So a little bit of history and an explanation regarding our structure. The California Joint Powers Insurance Authority is a joint powers authority. We were formed back in 1978. We have about 115 public agency members through the state. Most of those public agency members are small to medium-sized cities. And just to give you a sense of how many of them have a profile similar to Brawley, about 35 of those have their own home. Hang on one second, getting a little bit stuck. Have their own police and fire. One of the things that's really important to understand is that we are not an insurance company. The objective, of course, of an insurance company is primarily to return profits to their shareholders. And because we are a public agency and we're formed by the members for the members, our mission and our goal is instead to increase value for those members. Our primary purpose, of course, is to provide insurance coverage for our member agencies. And we have about 5 or 6 different coverage programs that provide different types of insurance coverage. The first and perhaps most important of those is our liability program. This includes coverage for any claims filed against the city by third parties. So, as an example, if an employee of the city is driving and they strike another person's vehicle and they're found to be at fault for that, there's coverage through that program that would be available for that. We also have our workers' compensation program. That program, of course, provides benefits and medical treatment for any employees of the city who are injured in their course and scope of work. We also have our property program, which provides coverage for any type of physical damage that might occur to city buildings or vehicles. And included with that also is an optional earthquake and flood coverage as well. Obviously, given the fact that we're expecting an El Nino year, the flood coverage, and with tonight's rain, of course, as well, the flood component of that coverage is really, really, really important. And then, in addition to those kind of four core programs, we also have a number of other smaller programs, those being our pollution liability program, our crime program, and also our special events program, which is somewhat unique in that that program actually allows members of the public who are going to be holding special events on city property to purchase insurance through us to meet the city's insurance requirement for that that event. So before I move on, are there any questions regarding any of those coverage programs? No?
We're familiar with
Anyone?
most.
We're familiar with most.
Perfect.
If not all, yeah.
Wonderful. What I'd like to do now is just talk a little bit about how we at the California JPIA work with our members. My job, as Shirley mentioned, and my title is Regional Risk Manager. About 5 years ago or so, what the JPIA did was we divided up all of the members into 5 risk management regions, and then each region has a specifically assigned risk manager. So I am based in San Diego, and I cover a really wide region. I cover the counties of San Diego, Imperial, Riverside, and San Bernardino as well. So I could be in Brawley, for example, one day. I could be in Palm Desert the following day. So my car and I are extremely well acquainted.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Big counties.
One of the things that we really focus on is helping our member agencies to reduce claims. And that's important both for the pool as a whole and for each individual member, because how our cost allocation formula works is we take a look at each member's payroll, which we see as being representative of the exposure that the member brings to the pool. And we also take a look at your claims for the last 5-year period. And so if we're factoring in both payroll and claims when we're deciding each year the contribution that the city of Brawley is making to the pool, for the most part, you don't have the ability to control payroll, but you do have an ability to affect claims, of course. And so risk management for us is really important. Kind of our marquee program when it comes to helping our members with risk management is something we call our Loss Control Action Plan program. And that program really has two prongs to it. The first is that we come out and we perform an assessment of each member agency approximately every 3 years. And what we do is we come out and we inspect your facilities. We take a look at your policies and procedures, And that assessment, coupled with, again, taking a look at your claims for the last 5-year period, gives us a really good sense of whether the City of Brawley is being effective at managing risk. And what results from that process is, as Shirley can attest, a very, very long list of items. Things that we recommend that if the city had an unlimited amount of resources that you would have the ability to address. And each of those things represents an improvement to your risk management program. And I wanted to recognize Shirley tonight, because Shirley has spent many, many hours working through that list one by one. I also wanted to talk to you briefly about our training program. We have a very, very robust training program, and I know that many of your employees have attended trainings of ours in the past. Our training workshops there are trainings that can be taken in a number of different areas that benefit the City of Brawley and your staff. Everything from Cal OSHA required trainings, for example, to workplace violence training. Those are available to be taken either electronically through our website, and we also often make available in person instructor-led trainings as well. We also have our annual risk management educational forum, which you can probably tell by the name is incredibly exciting. It's the educational forum is a 3-day event. It was held in San Francisco last year. It's going to be in Indian Wells coming up this September, and it's really an opportunity for employees and officials from our member agencies to come together to hear presentations from subject matter experts and to exchange ideas. So that's our training program. I wanted to close my presentation by just talking about some of the ways that we at the California JPIA have worked specifically with Brawley, and some things that we accomplished in 2015. The first of those is that at the end of 2013, our Workers' Compensation Program Manager, Jeff Rush, began a pilot program. The pilot program included all 4 members out here in the Imperial County, and it was focused on trying to reduce workers' compensation claim costs. So what we did was we put together a program that coupled a nurse triage service with what is known as a transitional return to work service. And how the nurse triage service works is that anytime an employee for the City of Brawley is injured while at work, there's a telephone number either they or their supervisor can call. They speak to a nurse, and the nurse directs the employee to appropriate care. And that's important because sometimes when an employee is injured at work, of course, it's very serious, and the employee needs to go to the emergency room. Oftentimes, though, maybe their injury can be addressed via first aid. And so by having somebody triaging each of those cases helps to contain costs by, again, making sure that the employee gets the appropriate care. We also coupled that service with a transitional return to work program service. One of the things that is very, very well known in the risk management community and the workers' compensation community especially is that when you have an employee that is injured, the longer that employee stays off work, the more difficult it gets to reintegrate them to the workforce. And so what the Transitional Return to Work program does is it provides a service where a professional consultant works with the city to both evaluate the employee's work capacity and then match them with assignments, duties, or tasks that the city currently has available so that we can get those employees back to work. I also wanted to talk to you briefly about our Americans with Disabilities Act program. You're all probably aware that the Americans with Disabilities Act is a federal law that's been in place since 1990. One of the things that we have noticed through the years is that many of our member agencies have struggled to completely comply with that law. So about a year ago, we started an ADA assistance program where we both made available a consultant that could help our member agencies to move towards compliance. And for those agencies that had previously completed their self-evaluation and transition plan, which includes Brawley, we made available reimbursement for costs accrued by completing that. And so during 2015, we reimbursed City of Brawley $22,000 through that program. So those are some of the highlights from 2015. At this point in time, if there are any questions, I can certainly address those for you.
Certainly. Thank you, Mr. Miller. If you can stand by right there. Do we have any questions from council?
I don't.
Okay.
I want to thank you for the presentation. It's always good to hear from you, and JPIA is a very important part of how we function within the city, so thank you very much.
Thank you, of course.
Mr. Miller, yes.
Just offer a couple of comments for the benefit of council. Many members of our city staff have taken advantage of the templates that are available, the lessons learned from other agencies that are member entities, and I know recently our city engineers' attendance at a training that was held by them was of extreme benefit to us moving forward with a number of policy changes. So we're always trying to take advantage of the proactive orientation of JPIA. Sometimes it's a bit of a challenge just because to do the training takes us away from our day-to-day work, but we welcome all the resources that they bring to the table and continue to hope that we can be a good member agency in good standing and maybe a model for best practices in the future.
Absolutely.
Considering they've been in the newspaper a lot lately, I think we know a lot about JPIA. And other things.
Very good.
Okay. I want to thank you for pushing the ADA. That's very important to me.
Yes.
Especially as we get older. And the, refunding us the $22,000 or reimbursing us. It's something that we've been working with the senior center and even here, trying to, I know we have a pathway over here, but most of the time I walk up the front. So we're working on that, and I want to thank you for doing that for us.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Mr. Miller, I just have one final comment, just on behalf of the city. I want to take the opportunity with your presentation. Maybe sometimes some of these issues may not be, some of them maybe not exciting, and that's a good thing, I think. When it comes to damage, loss, claims, all these different things, they all equal dollars. I think on behalf of the council, on behalf of our city administration, and I want to particularly recognize Shirley's work on this. She does bear the title of risk manager, which is a big, obviously awesome responsibility. But Shirley, as she will share with you, Bonias, as well as everybody, every staff member, every department head, every employee, everyone that is associated and part of this city, we all bear that same responsibility of managing that risk, and I think we've done a phenomenal job of really managing that. I think there's always room for improvement, but again, we appreciate what JPIA does, obviously, around the state, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good, and for that, we'll move on to our next item, item 4C, which is a discussion and potential action for the mayoral appointments to the city boards, committees, and commissions. This will be found in your agenda packet, pages 70 through 72. And I worked up a little bit of a worksheet here to kind of help me. And just for the public's benefit, just this part, this is where we're able to, as city council, as some may know, some do know, we have multiple subgroups, committees, commissions that we do serve on that really work on some specialized topics, issues, and various components, not just in the city of Brawley, but actually throughout the county, in some cases throughout the whole Southern California region. So with that said,
Mr.
yes.
Mayor, I would like for my appointments to continue. I'm happy with them, and there is one, I had been the alternate on SCAG, and I would like to be the delegate on that. But aside from that, I'd like to keep my appointments if possible.
I'll make a note here, but what I'll do for kind of going a little bit more order, if everyone does have the list out from your packet, I'll just start at the top, we'll go down. And obviously, we have a new council member here, Councilmember Hadagi, so we'll also kind of work together and get you appointed and fit in, and hopefully the organizations that'll need your assistance and your support. So we'll start with the Brawley Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. The current delegate is Mayor Pro Tem Couchman, and the alternate is Helen Noriega. Do we want to keep that the same?
I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with it.
Okay. I'm just going to put a check mark, and if there's any changes, I know our city clerk is also following along. But next item will be Imperial County Air Pollution District Board of Directors. Current delegate is Sam Couchman. Alternate is, I have that as a blank. I believe it was Mr. Campbell, but Norma, would you be okay as an alternate on that behind?
Yes,
okay.
I have interest in that, actually.
Perfect. We'll do that. Noted.
It's not a real frequent meeting. It's usually about every 3 months or so, I think, or every 6 months even. So it's not really a real frequent meeting. There are some special events that you sometimes have to attend in my place, or we can alternate too, so that you get more knowledge of it.
Excellent. And then the next organization here will be Imperial County Emergency Food and Shelter Program, EFSP. Current delegate is Helen Noriega. Alternate, again, would be open. Campbell, is there interest there?
I'm the alternate.
She was the alternate.
You are the alternate?
Yeah,
Okay,
you would
I'm
be
sorry.
the member.
Would you be interested? And what I try to do, if you've served as the alternate, maybe put in some order to this if you're interested in stepping up into the delegate position. I'm not aware of how often they meet, or...
Not very.
I don't think it's very often, but...
It's up to you, Helen, if you want it, it's fine with me, or I can also...
we can reverse that if you're interested.
We'll work together. She can be the delegate, and I'll
Okay.
still be the alternate.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds good.
And the next, I believe, should stay the same, the Imperial County Film Commission. As Councilmember Navarro expressed, remaining the same. And I did speak with Councilmember Noriega earlier as well, wanting to stay the same, so we're good there. Good. We'll move to the next, Imperial County Transportation Commission. Our delegate has been Councilmember Nava. I'm interested in taking the alternate position in that one.
Okay.
Okay. Move to the next page, Imperial County Local Transportation Authority. I believe that's closely related to ICTC. So again, Councilmember Nava and I as well interested in that alternate. And bear in mind, just so people know, alternate, obviously, it sounds obvious if the delegate is unable to make it, the alternate would be the next most obligated to attend. But quite frankly, I think our council does a pretty darn good job with their attendance, with few exceptions. So there's many cases where I've served as alternate and have rarely been called upon. So just something to bear in mind. Imperial County, the next organization would be Imperial County Service Authority or Freeway Emergencies, SAFE. Once again, I don't think they meet, and I think that's closely related again to ICT Simulator
Sorry,
Transportation.
who were the alternates for Imperial County Transportation Commission?
It was Campbell, I
I know,
believe,
but
so I
who is-
expressed an interest myself, because I think it's closely related to ICTC.
And they all meet
They
at
all
the
meet the
same...
same-
They all meet the
Same
same,
date and
right.
time.
So they kind of go, it's a
It's those
tie-in
three.
together, right, as well as the next item that I brought up, the Imperial County Service Authority for Freeway Emergencies, otherwise known as SAFE.
Those are the
so
call
NAVA,
boxes,
Wharton. Next is California League of Cities. Prior, I did serve as the alternate. I'm interested in moving into the delegate position on that, and I think as alternate.
I think Norma wanted to be an alternate.
Are you interested in
I'd
the
be
alternate for that?
interested, yes.
Okay. We'll note that as, the next is the Imperial Valley, Regional Public Safety Training Authority. I've been the delegate. Once again, I'll explain, really rarely meets, so is there anybody, because it used to be Councilmember Campbell that had that position, but anyone interested in the alternate?
I will.
If not, okay. So that was the Imperial Valley Regional Public Safety Training Authority. Next will be the North County Coalition of the Arts,
I'd
also
like to
known as
stay there.
NOCA. You'll keep me there, huh? And also the alternate I'm showing is Councilmember Nava. Next is Imperial County overall. I don't think that is that right?
Yeah,
That's right.
It is.
That's what it's
Economic
called.
Development Commission.
I
And
used
that
to
is
tell them
yours,
that.
yes.
That's mine, yeah, and I've been attending for many years. so
Fantastic.
awesome.
So Sam, you like to remain there, and I'm showing alternate as Councilmember Nava. Moving on to the next, Abandoned Vehicle Abatement Joint Powers Authority.
Staff assignments.
Staff assignment, I am showing that as Francisco Soto, who is here, and Gordon Geist, who has been serving as the alternate. So we'll keep that the same. Joint Powers Insurance Authority, which we just heard the presentation. Our delegate has been Councilmember Nava, and our alternate is Councilmember Noriega.
You want to stay?
Yes.
Okay. Next item, Southern California Association of Governments, also known as SCAG, General Assembly Delegate, formerly attended by Councilmember Campbell. As mentioned here, just noted that Councilmember Nava is interested in the delegate position. I'd like to appoint that, and I would be interested in the alternate position. Yes? Are you-
I just want to say that there's kind of we need to include everyone. You know, there's a lot of Navas and a lot of, we need to kind of balance some of those out and have others, be part of it.
Actually, if I count them up, and not to count it down, I'm wide open to whatever, at the end of the day, mayoral appointment, however we do this is for a one-year term, but what I see, once again, it's very important, looking down the delegate, which we're the obligated delegate, it's actually fairly well balanced, and there's a lot of key, both local and regional commissions. If it's different, please speak up and let me know, but I'm showing, looking down the delegate list, it's pretty well balanced. And Helen, if I may, are you speaking for particular yourself, or?
No,
is there
for Norma.
others or me?
I
Yeah.
think Norma needs to have a little more.
Absolutely. We're
Well-
working toward that.
I mean, I'm willing to serve, I'm willing to represent the city wherever needed, and I do have a few indicated already. I guess we can do a final review at the end if you wish. and
Sure.
we'll look at it.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's get through, I think where we left off, it's SCAG, so the next would be the Association of California California Cities Allied with Prisons.
I'd like to stay there.
Okay. Sure. And I'm showing the alternate as Nava.
That's fine. I don't
Okay.
think they meet very often.
Nope.
Swing around. I believe we're getting to the final page 3 here. So Imperial Valley Emergency Communications Authority. I'm listed as the liaison, and once again, this is generally attended by staff.
Yeah. I am currently functioning as a city manager delegate, and Chief Crankshaw is actually functioning as a voting member of the JPA as well by the Chiefs Association.
For the purpose of these designations too, I know there might be others, but would Councilmember Hadagi be interested in that post? And again, I will tell you, in my 3 years of being at that post, I've not met.
In the
Out in
Imperial Valley
because-
Emergency, which one?
Yes, it's also known as IVECA, but it's Imperial Valley Emergency Communications Authority, so it is the
800 megahertz
Yeah.
radio system.
that most of our law enforcement, EMS, and our public safety community utilizes.
That's fine. Yeah.
Mayor Wharton, it might be
Yeah.
helpful to note that all of those listed on the third page of appointments are basically liaison-only functions, so you don't have to attend them. You're welcome to attend them because
Understood.
they're all public meetings, but if a topic is particularly thorny, the designated council member becomes the primary liaison.
Okay.
You mean all of the airport commission, all of
Yes.
those?
Even though I think we're, once again, as I stated in the very beginning, this council's been pretty dedicated, at the attendance whenever, obviously, not just possible, but I think beyond that. So Airport Advisory Commission, liaison is Wharton, alternate is Couchman.
That's fine. I haven't attended a meeting, except maybe one or two because of alternate.
Okay.
That's all.
Imperial Valley Housing Authority.
I
Airport
would
is
be
staying the
interested in
same?
that one.
What's that?
Sorry. Airport stays the same?
We agreed, yes.
Okay.
I'm happy with that. And the next one would be Imperial Valley Housing Authority. Norma, did you
Yeah,
say
I'd
you're
be interested in
Okay.
taking that one.
Norma,
And I'll
then-
stay the alternate.
You're the, okay.
Do you want to make her library alternate?
And Library Board of Trustees, I have listed as Noriega. I served on that post for, I think it was 2 years, and, or maybe it was one, but Helen, you'd like to remain there?
Yes.
Okay. And the alternate would be open, you're open to?
Myself
losing that?
or Norma, I don't
Norma, would you
mind
be
if
interested
she's
in that?
interested in that.
Well, I
Library
just inherited two more on this page, so.
I'll be an alternate if you want me to be an alternate on that.
Actually, Nora, I have plans for many more here.
I know.
There's more on there.
It's,
I can be library board alternate if you want me to be.
okay,
I mean, I'll do that.
I'm agreeable with that.
Because I'm not
so-
on all of the other ones
Okay.
either, so,
We'll put Couchman
as an alternate.
as the
Yeah, 'cause
alternate
there's
for
a
the
few more
Library Board of
Campbells coming up.
Trustees.
They like you better than me, but
That I see on
As
the list.
Helen will
Few more
attest,
parks I wanna
that's a
stay.
fun bunch. Parks and Rec Advisory Commission and Youth Commission will, of course, stay with our liaison as just expressed, Noriega.
I can be the alternate.
okay. Okay, and the next one you have to.
Planning Commission,
I want to stay.
okay.
Do you want to be alternate? or want me to be
I wanna be alternate.
How do you want to be, how do you want to have?
I can be alternate, that's fine. See, I knew there was more coming.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
you'll
that's
get more, don't worry.
why I made the statement. I didn't think there was
Don't
a-
always attend,
a
though, I mean, so that's the
balance
thing,
issue.
you have to be kind of on standby.
Public Safety Committee, which has been on hold, I have previously served on it when it was active, so if that's something that down the road we look to bring back, so at this point, it'll be undesignated. And the final, which I've been very proud of course, but Brawley Business Advisory Committee, and what I wanted to bring up, just as my side as mayor and looking at the balance and the travel with some of these committees and commissions, I would like to offer that to, as a delegate position or the liaison position, to
I would be
Councilmember
interested in
Hadid, I
that,
think
yes,
you
that's
guys-
my background anyway, so.
fantastic. And then with that as alternate, Councilmember Nava, or?
No, Councilmember Noriega would like to, that's fine, or Councilmember Couchman?
I'll take it. Alternate.
Okay.
The only thing I brought up there, my only consideration there was you do have a family member that is currently seated on the
that's right.
committee.
Maybe we should-
So would it be better to avoid that just for that committee? I don't
I
anticipate
don't-
conflicts, but
I don't think
I
Norma
just-
will miss any.
I don't plan to.
And I don't think there's anything that,
Any conflict?
any conflict.
There's not a legal conflict.
That's right.
Okay.
Fantastic. Sounds good to me. Just.
Thank you.
I'm just putting out there saying, I think that concludes, so we can go back over, if we can get a review, and maybe if I can get our city clerk, if you don't mind, maybe just starting back at the top, and I appreciate the public and your patience, but we want to make sure we get this right. So if you could, Elma.
Okay, for the Brawley Chamber Board of Directors delegate, I have Couchman and alternate Noriega. The Imperial County Air Pollution District Board of Directors, I have Couchman and Jauregui. Imperial County Emergency Food and Shelter Program, Jauregui and Noriega. For the Imperial County Film Commission, Nava and Noriega. ICTC, Nava and Wharton. LTA, Nava and Wharton. SAFE, Nava and Wharton. League of California Cities Delegate, Wharton and Jauregui. Imperial Valley Regional Public Safety Training Authority, Wharton and Noriega. NOCA, Noriega and Nava. Imperial County Overall Economic Development Commission, Couchman and Nava. AVAJPA, Soto and Geist. CJPIA, Nava and Noriega. SCAG, Wharton, Nava and Wharton. Association of California Cities Allied with Prisons, Noriega and Nava. Imperial Valley Emergency Communication Authority, Jauregui and Crankshaw. Airport Advisory Commission, Wharton and Couchman. Imperial Valley Housing Authority, Jauregui and Noriega. Library Board of Trustees, Noriega and Couchman. Parks and Recreation, Noriega and Jauregui. Planning Commission, Noriega and Jauregui. Public Safety is on hold. And the Business Advisory, Jauregui and Noriega.
Very good. Do we need a motion, or these are appointments? So this is, would that conclude this item if we're on agreement? Thank you very much to my fellow council members for your participation, and hope that we move forward and have a prosperous, productive commission and committee meetings moving forward. Concluding that, we'll move on to our next item on the agenda. That's 5 departmental reports. A, monthly staffing report, January 1, 2016, from Shirley Bonillas, Personnel and Risk Management Administrator.
Mayor, council member, I'm back. Shirley Bonillas, Personnel and Risk Management. And the report doesn't look too much different than we saw last month. Police department is still, as full-time members, is still full. No vacancies there. We are struggling with a part-time dispatch. We have one dispatch person that's been on medical leave since September, and we had a second member just returning after being out for 3 months. So this part-time position has been crucial that we haven't been able to fill. So we are working with the chief and the city manager trying to devise a way to get a part-time position filled. It's temporary, 12 hours a week is most likely why we can't fill it. And we are, just to point out, we are retaining 2 of the temporary workers for Public Works. They're still down a couple positions. We're still recruiting in-house for a utility worker 2 and a utility lead man. So they're just hanging on to those 2 extra sets of hands. Any questions?
Council, any questions?
No.
Comments? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Ms.
sir.
Bonillas. Move on to the next item, item 6, informational reports. 6A is record of building permits, November 2015, prepared by Francisco Soto, building official.
This is simply an informational item coming to council to display what activity is being processed through the Community Development Services Department.
Excellent. Thank you, and that's included there on page 74 and 75. So, any questions, observations? If not, we'll move on to the next item. Item 7, City Council member reports, and we'll start with Councilmember Noriega.
Just want to wish everybody a happy new year, and hopefully our 2016 will be bigger and greater. See you guys later.
Thank you, Councilmember Noriega, and Councilmember Jauregui.
Well, it's been a very busy month. I've been very blessed, I think, with being able to participate in a lot of the different events that are being sponsored by our city and getting to meet a lot of interesting people in our community, and the opportunity also to attend a few sessions that have very much interest in the whole community and the whole valley. For example, today I attended the State Water Resources Control Board workshop that was held over at the county regarding the Salton Sea and what they're doing with that, and it looks very positive. I think there's finally some good action that's coming forward, that the state is, looks like they're going to be possibly putting some meat behind their talk, and by that I mean some money. And the senator was represented during the presentation, and so was the assembly member. So it looks like we may finally see something happening with our Salton Sea, the improvement, of course, with the air pollution and the water. So very interesting, and very happy to see the promotion we had today. It's always good to see staff being promoted and more staff coming behind them and taking their place. So, thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Jauregui. Councilmember Nava?
Just wish you all a happy new year. My condolences certainly to Miguel Miranda's family, to his friends, to staff members that were able to work with him, and it was very shocking to all of us here, I'm sure. And so heartfelt condolences to his family and to his friends and to the staff and everyone here that is, I'm sure, was devastated by that news. Also participated at the ACC. There was a toy drive, and they had Santa there, and hundreds of kids were there, and it was nice to see the smiles on their faces. I was there with Mayor Wharton, and so we helped out, and I want to thank the fire department for assisting with the fire truck at that event. And there was a lot of other things that took place, but generally just spent time with my family, got some things done with work, and just enjoying a little bit of time away from council for a few weeks. But looking forward to this year, and again, thank you all very much for your support, and thank you to staff for all the hard work that you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Nava and Mayor Pro Tem Couchman.
Okay. I had the privilege of being invited to attend the Barbara Worth Career Day that they had last week, I believe it was, or the week before last. And a very nice event. They have a lot of people from the community that come in to talk to the students about possibly careers. They are 7th and 8th graders. Most of them haven't really formed a real good idea what their career is going to be. However, I think it's important that we talk to them when they're as young as possible, because in terms of talking with them, they get an idea of what they need to do and where they need to go to pursue their dreams. And I think it was very, very neat, a neat event and a very well-attended event. And we probably talked to, I think it's 4 different classes. It takes about a half a day. And so it was a really neat event, though. The only other thing I wanted to report on was I happened the other day to be able to see one of our Brawley police officers in action. I happened to be parked in a certain location, and I saw him come up to a gentleman and talk to that gentleman, and also have to somewhat restrain that gentleman and also pat him down and everything. Did it in a very professional manner. It didn't escalate, in any way, shape, or form. And I thought the officer did a very professional job with that individual. And ultimately, that individual was allowed to go on his way, and the officer returned to his vehicle and did what he needed to do in terms of pursuing other issues within the city. And I thought it was a real good job, and I was really pleased to see how it went, and how that officer reacted to that gentleman, and how the gentleman reacted to the officer. And I thought that they both kept it at a certain level that I thought was very professional. And that's what I like to see out there in the city. And so I think for the police department, we do appreciate that, and the effort by our police officers out there, and all the other city staff that I saw around during the holidays doing the variety of different things that they do related to the city. So with that, Happy New Year, and that's all my report.
Thank you, Councilmember Couchman. And keep in mind, relatively brief, obviously, and enjoyed everything about the holiday festivities, both not just personally, but publicly, of all the toy drives, all the giving that really takes place, which I want to specifically commend all of our organizations throughout the Valley that really step up that time of year. And not just being Christmas, as many of them will tell you, or the New Year coming into the holiday season, but this is really the work that many of these organizations do all throughout the year. As the weather's changing, as things get colder, as shelters food banks, all those things really are running at full capacity when it comes not just at this time of year, but really in our region. So I thank all those organizations. I'm a part of many Santa Claus fly-ins, and one thing I can tell you that is always exciting is that anytime that you have a little something to do with delivering Santa Claus, just as we did with our tree lighting. So again, I want to thank our council members that have been a big part of supporting that. Yes.
Also, I forgot to mention, American Legion would like to thank the city for allowing the fire department to also bring Santa Claus into their giving of many. I mean, there was a lot of children there, and a lot of bikes were also given there. So it made a lot of young faces smile. So
That's
I wanna
fantastic.
thank-
And I'll say, not to offend the Santas that are driven in, but we always have to limit the size and weight of the Santas we fly in. So you know, no offense sometimes with our helicopters. But outside of that, I do want to mention, I just think it's worth mentioning because I can't look over. I can see barely the top of our Parks and Rec director over there. But again, great pride and big kudos to that young man, Royce Freeman, who played one heck of a bowl game. Unfortunately, the outcome wasn't, but I will definitely say that it had to be one of the more exciting, if not the most exciting bowl game of the year. I watched every second of it, but always tremendous pride. I'm usually good with the stats, but I think it was about 180 yards, 3 touchdowns, and something like that, something in the ballpark, plus or minus a yard. I might be off, but he also set the Oregon rushing record as I think the most yards gained in Oregon, University of Oregon history. So I mean, just tremendous stuff. And all I can remember is when these kids were young and playing Parks and Rec basketball right here in our program. So again, big congratulations there. Other than that, Happy New Year. I really look forward to this year. I look forward to working with council, and hope everyone has a safe and prosperous year. So moving on from there, that's our council reports. We'll go on to item 8, our city manager's report.
Nothing to report at this time.
Thank you, city manager. We'll move on to our treasurer's report. Obviously, I'm sorry I said that, but once again, said our condolences, and I do want to announce for those of us that are really going to have the opportunity to step forward, I do highly recommend that we come together and do what we can to not just memorialize our treasurer, Miguel Miranda's legacy here, but we have an opportunity to come together and console each other as well as the family and surround that. And as I sit in this seat, can remember, and I did want to say that, I didn't know if I was going to save it to the end, but the moment of silence, when we started our meeting, all I thought of is that our city will not be the same without that individual. And he's certainly led by example for so many of us.
Bringing that up, are we going to be able to allow on Monday our staff to go, like from 12 to 2?
I think if bringing that up, whatever accommodations we can possibly make, I would recommend that we try to do that. Obviously, there's some essential service, but absolutely, if that opportunity, I think that would be wonderful. We're fortunate, and it's rare for us in a city the size of ours that once again we get to serve with a gentleman that Miguel was. So with that will be an empty spot on this agenda. That's very difficult to move on. Number 10, our city attorney's report.
Well, we have some stuff to talk about in closed session, but other than that, we're just working hard with the city manager all over the holidays, working on some projects that will be coming shortly, I think.
Thank you. Looks like we'll have a lengthy, well, not lengthy, but we have definitely several items in closed session, so thank you to our city attorney. City clerk's report.
Nothing to report.
We will adjourn. We are going into closed session, so thank you once again, and Happy New Year to everyone.
You're not adjourning, you're just going into closed session.
I'm sorry, we're not adjourning, we're just moving to closed session, so we'll take a 5-minute recess.